People often ask me how they can master Django, what they need to do to become better and go beyond the basics, and what they need to know in order to get a job. In this video, I will discuss the most important concepts that you need to know, at least in my opinion, and I will also go over some other steps you can do in order to get the job. So keep watching if you think this sounds interesting. I believe that there are 6 different concepts you need to know in order to become an expert. The first and maybe the most important step is database and caching. You need to know about all the different model fields and how they work, because they store data differently and similar. It's also important that you need to know what data to cache in a web application, how long it should be cached, and what types of cache there are out there. It's also important to know how to optimize database queries, when to use select related, prefetch related, and similar. The next concept is authorization and authentication. Authentication is the process of verifying who a user is, and authorization is the process of identifying what the user has access to. And Django has great built-in functionality for both of these. But it's important to know that you can expand on this. You can use packages like Django Auth that lets you generate tokens for APIs, and it also gives you the possibility to use social logins. The third concept is forms and security. Why you should use forms? That's because it gives you security and also a lot of built-in functionality right out of the box. There are different types of forms and you need to know how to use all of them. The most popular is model forms and just regular forms. You can extend these by adding classes to the input fields, help text, and similar. And you need to know how to add your own validations to the different fields. The fourth concept is how to create an API. Almost all of the modern websites out there use some sort of API. And the most used project for this is Django REST framework, which is an awesome project to use. You also need to know how to serialize data and return JSON and just know how an API works under the hood. The fifth concept is third-party APIs. It's great to know how to send emails using an API or notifications, or how to implement a payment gateway like Stripe or PayPal. It's also good to know how to use APIs for Slack or Twitter, so you can post tweets right from your website. And the sixth concept is deployment. You need to know the basics of Git, server configurations, Docker, how to serve static and media files, and it's also nice to know a little bit about database. The most popular database for Django is PostgreSQL, I think. Just knowing the basics of all of this just shows the employer that you know more than just the basics of Django. And so how can you show an employer what you know? You can create a GitHub account where you can start uploading codes and projects. Here you need to remember to remove API keys, passwords and similar, because you do not show an employer that you did a mistake like this. You need to create a portfolio where you can showcase your coolest projects, where you can describe what technologies you used and similar. If you used projects from a tutorial or a YouTube video, you need to remember that you need to know how to explain everything in the code and why you have solved things in a specific way. I also recommend that you always change the styling and maybe create more functionalities for the web apps. That's just so you don't just blindly copy a project, because no one will be impressed by that. Some projects you can build in order to show your skills and become better is by building the portfolio, e-commerce website, simple social network, and some kind of SaaS like a time management, time tracking, and similar. just somewhere teams can collaborate. By building advanced web apps like this, you will be able to cover and learn more about all of those 6 steps I just talked about. What else is important to get a job? You need to be passionate. You need to show the employer that you love what you're doing, because this is really important for the employers. Also, you need to love learning. All good developers that I know all love learning and staying up to date with the latest technologies. And to show an employer that you stay up to date, you can frequently post your code to GitHub to show that you are always improving your skills. And that was it for this video. I hope you liked it, and if you did, please click like below, and I will also appreciate if you share this video with your friends. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below and I answer as soon as I can. See you next time. Before I continue, I just want to say thanks to my Patreons. If you too want to support me, you will find a link to my Patreon in the description below.